Before I start, I would like to thank Jan and Alexander for putting my presentation together inside the computer, because I didn't bring the laptop. I'm not technically very, very good, getting better, so color has a great affinity with me, and I love it tremendously because it touches the emotion deeply and directly. So today I will talk to you about the rainbow in our lives, in healing, and in actually using the rainbow with hands-on activities. The language of color in our relationships and how the colors of the rainbow affect us and our relationships. So let's say, oops, wrong, there we go. So the rainbow is this wonderful thing that appears from the refraction of light through the raindrops, an ephemeral wonder. It's the marriage of sunshine and rain. And this harmonious wonder never fails to bring the inner child out and bring a smile in our face. It's always a token of hope and joy and something that makes us look forward to the future. It is the token of the covenant after the Bible that God made with us to give us this kind of joy and balance for the next generations. And can you hear? I'm nervous, but it will get better. It's always the start. In Goethe's theory, the rainbow was made as a mediator between the light of the being as it was up before it came down to incarnate into the darkness of the human body. So we have this lightweight bridge from heaven to earth where angels used to walk up and down, that used to call the Bifrost bridge. And it makes life easier to connect the light being that we are to the dark being that we became before we become light beings again. So it's kind of an important thing. And the rainbow has the active colors outside. If you can imagine a rainbow, it has the active colors outside and the quiet colors inside, all protected inside. While the chakras on our bodies, which correspond to the colors of the rainbow, they start with the auric colors. They start with the red on the inside and they expand with the violet on the outside. But what's common with these two things is that we have the green in the middle, which is the centering, the relaxing, and the balancing color. And it's also the color of love. So the green in the middle and the color of love, it's what balances us and makes us tick. And it's such an easy idea and an easy feeling to remember, to apply in our lives, to have joy and balance around us. Now, I will talk to you, I will read something that Rudolf Steiner said about applying the color. Rudolf Steiner applied color theories in education in a big way by painting the classroom, the classroom rooms with different colors depending on the age of the child as they develop, starting with pink, which is a very nurturing color. And Larry talked about that. And he also wrote in his book about speech and drama course that if we have a reverent devotion to the rainbow, we can create stage decor at any time. So I was asked to make this mural. It's not really a mural, it's paint on doors, on cupboard doors, where they hide the toys and the dress-up clothes in a hospice for very, very ill children. Basically, the children there, they never come out, unfortunately. But the hospice is a place where heaven and earth are united, and death and life, it's one word. They're really amazing people who work there, and they work very much with the parents as well with the children. And siblings and relatives all the time visit this place as well. So when they first commissioned me to do this mural on the doors, my idea was to paint a rainbow. And then I thought I'll put lots of little details and animals and things for the children to spend more time looking at it, and then they can get the healing energy of the color. So I will read you what Steiner wrote about this stage, the reverent devotion to color. What a lovely thing to say. It says, the rainbow. I feel within me a mood of prayer. That is how the rainbow begins, in the iridescent violet that goes shimmering out and out into immeasurable distances. The violet goes over into blue, the restful, quiet mood of the soul. That again goes over to green. Remember green? When we look up to the green arc of the rainbow, it is as though our soul is poured out over the sprouting and blossoming nature's world. It is as though, in passing from violet and blue into green, we had come away from the gods to whom we were praying, and now in the green we are finding ourselves in a world that opens the door to wonder, opens the door to a sensitive sympathy and antipathy with all that is around us. Balancing. If you're really drunk in the green of the rainbow, you are already on the way to understanding all the beings and things of the world. Then you pass to yellow, and in the yellow you're firmly established in yourself, and you feel you have the power to be a man in the midst of nature. That is to be more than the rest of nature around you. And when you go over to orange, then you feel your own warmth that you carry within you. And at the same time, you're made sensible of many shortcomings in your character and of good points too. Going on then to the red, the other edge of the rainbow, where the other edge of the rainbow passes once again into the vastness of nature, your soul will overflow with joy and exaltation, with ardent devotion, and with love to all mankind. Isn't that lovely? How he describes the rainbow. So that's what I was trying to do, plus it was also the theme of Chase is the journey of the children going through life to this life in the other dimension. And as I said, the rainbow is touching our inner child, and my work throughout my life, the biggest part of it as an art teacher to children from 4 and 3 years old up to 18 years old, with color being the most important thing that I was teaching them. Without, even before I knew about color therapy, this slide is all about the child inside us. And again, Rudolf Steiner said that the dear God comes to us, my child, upon a lovely rainbow. Again, how lovely it is. And these are all little mnemonics of how to remember the colors of the rainbow, because you'll be surprised that many children don't remember the order of the colors of the rainbow. So one of a very common one in England is Richard of York gained battles in vain. Yeah. And then, well. But I also have a puppet. His name is Colorface. And that's him. Some of you know him, and some of you heard the story last year. But I thought it's worth saying it again this year. And I want a tiny bit of interaction to help him find something when I ask you to. So this is Colorface, and he traveled a lot, and he needs not a hip operation like some people do, but a foot operation, because he has some batteries here, and usually he had the life force coming around his trousers, which had a bit overused. So this is Colorface. Nice to meet you. They're lovely, aren't they? And that's the way I explain to the children about the chakras in our body, which are like the colors of the rainbow. And the story goes like a long, long time ago, when the first designer made, when the great designer made the first human model out of clay. The human model was so perfect that it didn't need any scales, fur, or feathers. It was harmonious, it was symmetrical, and it was alive. And the great designer was very, very pleased and ready to use color. So he opened his drawer, and there comes this beautiful rainbow. And the great designer looks at it and says, "Oh no, I already used all the colors of the rainbow. I made red cherries. What else is red? And you have to help me with what he made."
Orange
And I made oranges, and I made yellow lemons and bananas, and then I made green grapes and trees, and I made blue seas and sky. I made indigo starry nights, and I made violets and amethyst crystals. This creature is the best ever I made. I want to give it all the best. I want to give it power of thought, the choice, the freedom of choice. I think I will use all the colors of the rainbow on him to make it perfect. So he took red. He took, first of all, a big piece of clay, and he cut it in 7 even pieces. And then he took one of each color of the rainbow, and he mixed it together with each piece. And he had 7 different pieces of clay on the colors of the rainbow. And he started building the model again in a colorful way. And he put red on the feet for speed and courage. And he put orange in his tummy for good belly laughter. And he put yellow on the solar plexus, on the stomach, for cleansing and thinking. He put lovely green on the heart for love and best caresses. And he put blue on the throat for communication and articulation. He put indigo on the forehead for intuition and structure. And then he put lovely violet all around the head for inspiration and innovation. And a creature like that was never made before. And the great designer was really pleased and looked at the creature, and he felt good, but not for long. He said, he's supposed to have free choice and the power of thought. If he already has all the colors of the rainbow on him, how will he be able to choose what he wears? How will he be able to choose how he is? And that makes him feel free and happy. So that took him a little bit longer to think how to solve this problem. And he thought for 3 days and 3 nights and thought, how can this make this model better? And then he thought of another thing. And he took another big piece of clay, and very, very gently and very, very lovingly, he straightened it and made it bigger and bigger until it was lovely and smooth and soft. And lovingly he picked it up, and he covered the first human colored model with clay. And you know what? Until today, just look around you, we are all having a uniform skin, a uniform colored skin. It could be black or white or red or yellow, but underneath this color, this uniform skin, all the colors of the rainbow are vibrating to give us strength and the ability to confront the world. So that's the story of the little puppet, Colorface. I'm still very nervous. Thank you. So the children sometimes ask me, you mean if we pierce our hand in different places, it's going to be a different color coming out? And you say, well, try. So this is about working with the rainbow. That's the first part of my talk, working with the rainbow. And the other one is the rainbow in our relationships. So when we are working with the colors in the cosmic ordering, it's a great healing exercise. When you horizontally take the colors with watercolor, usually, you work with watercolor because color and water, they have a historical relationship between them. And there is a story that the rainbow, in each side of the rainbow, there are angels, and they're holding these rainbow chalices where they are picking up drops from the heavenly water. And these drops, they have all the wisdom of the cosmic universe, of the universe, just like the morning dew. So water, because color is coming only when sunshine and water are getting married. So water and color, they're very connected. And working with color in a watery way, like painting the rainbow, in the cosmic order, has a great healing experience and a soothing experience. It makes the soul feel at home. So we work horizontally. We do it very, very gently by using the therapeutic stroke, as they call it in the Steiner education. By applying just the color like it's energy, you're basically creating with color an energetic rainbow. And the whole idea is to transfer from one color to the other without making it very clear, without finding lines, like creating energy. And by the time you think of color, you're already getting the healing of color. By the time you paint with it, it goes really deep inside your veins and rearranges your whole system. And the one-sided intellectual ability, which we have a lot in our days, because we think all the time, and Steiner used to say the scholar is a sly person because they think all the time, and they know a lot, but they want to know even more. And the more you think, the harder your body gets. We need to use emotions, which make the body fluid. And if you consciously are preoccupied with color, it's like moistening your being. And it's like activating the glandular system, which breathes in and out. It's like a submerged breathing that you breathe in and you build up all the secretion, and then you build out and you exert everything you built in. So it's like what Jacob said. So both of the times, breathing is very important, and the correct breathing prevents us from illnesses. So when we are congested, and there is no movement, when we think too much and we only use one side of our being, we get petrified somehow, we get stone-like, and we are not well enough. So working with the rainbow is very important. When we do this rainbow again, we have yellow in the middle with green next to each supported. And we connect, we go from the yellow to the green and then to the higher colors, which are heaven, and then we go to the other colors which connect us with the earth. And you feel like you can bear and you can be around the elements. After doing exercise like that, you get much more stronger. Let's see this picture here. Do you recognize this face? She's getting connected between heaven and earth and painting a rainbow. And that was from a workshop we had from the Norwegian Light Association earlier in April for a whole week, painting rainbows, weaving rainbows, and talking about rainbows. And it was a lovely experience to have the time to do all these things. So there's Randy doing it. So, and weaving with the rainbow is a very important exercise because weaving has a different structure in it. It doesn't have the fluidity of water, but it has the primordial action of building up something where there is nothing before. And also wedding the weft and the warp. The warp is the straight lines that go on the weaving. And the weft is what going in and out, and it's called wandering weft, because it allows a little bit for the wool to go in and out, the warp. And they say that the warp is the masculine element, and the weft is the feminine element. And the feminine element holds and builds together a tissue and a material with the masculine one. So in other ways, they say that the weft is the spirit and the warp is the matter. And when they intersect, again, they create some great healing inside and strengthen it inside the soul. And here we have just all the colors we use to paint the rainbows, a little weaving of the rainbow, another version of it, and the unity of colors and the cosmic ordering in an ever-repeated meditative observation can lead to an inexhaustible source of healing forces. Basically, all the time you think about rainbow and you work with it is very beneficial. Here, I just put that doesn't have an immediate, although we can weave with the different seasons, but it's the light gets incarnated throughout the year, from death to life, from life to death. So when the light comes in the springtime, it's new and fresh and it ensols the air. And it brings this lovely green color into the plants of nature. And this color, little by little, becomes food and realizes into matter, which during the summer, this lovely bright green, lime green, becomes heavier and darker until it goes into autumn, where the light will go out again from the leaves, the fire leaves of the trees. And in the winter, the light leaves us behind in the darkness, in the bare branches, just to work inside the bare branches and come out again in the spring. So we're always going in a circle through the light. No, that's the other way around. Right. And now we have the rainbow in our lives because I get sometimes very addicted to the rainbow because I can just think about everything with the rainbow. And before I start telling you about what colors we are, I was thinking about the rainbow through our lives as in our relationships. So our relationships, when we see somebody new we didn't know, and we fall in love with them, we are attracted to them, we are going through the red color of passion, that we want to be all the time with them, we want to be one with them, and to be active in being one with them. And we don't want anybody else. That's the first color. We want to be one, and the whole one is you and them. Then we go to the orange, where the couple wants to be social, and they still have the fire of the red that keeps them together and infatuated with each other. But then they start looking, they become two, they start looking at the social world around them and at other people. And then this period goes, and we're going into the intellectual yellow. And that's when the couple sometimes, and many times, they start thinking about their relationship. And they want to make the other person the one they think is the best. And sometimes there's a lot of conflict in this when the intellect comes in, because things are not flowing anymore like the lovely orange and the lovely red. And then the heart comes in, and the heart can be very hurt after all this intellectual judging. And sometimes relationships break when they reach the green color, which is just in the middle. If you can pass this green period, things might be better. So if this criticism was very hard and strong, relationships break. If you manage to love it and nurse it and not think too much about how the other person is, but just to love them, you can go up to communicate with them what you want, how you want them to be in a loving way. And then that starts healing, if it didn't break. And sometimes it breaks here as well, because this communication is not able to happen. And then we go to the indigo, when finally we start looking inside us and trying to find the answers inside us and not on the other person. And together with the other person, if both in the relationship look inside them, they will find the answers that they can be communicated and felt and loved. And finally, we are in the violet period, which is the last period of a relationship. And the couple is loving and communicating and knowing each other, and that can be a fantastic time in everybody's relationship, and all the chakras can be alive. And everything comes back again, from sex to relationships to being social. Now, different colors, they have different wavelengths, as we all know, but we are also energy. We are all full of color, and we are attracted to different people. It depends what color we need. Now, the reason that we don't know that much ourselves and our colors is because we've been so conditioned from day one, and we are not only conditioned by the people who brought us up and by our society, but also by their conditionings and burdens they were having. So we're not able to see the real colors that we are. And what's here is that the social landscape changes from one generation to the next, but the law of the universe remains the same. And that doesn't mean that we are not getting better, or that the rules of the game remain unchanged, but we are becoming better in playing this game. So every generation becomes better knowing how to understand and play the game that has been there forever, since the start of the world. And intimate relationships, they act like a mirror. You know, a mirror is very connected with light as well, yeah? Because it attracts the light. So, you know, you walk, and then all of a sudden there is a mirror, and we all stop and do our hair and do our teeth, and then like nothing happened, we continue working. So we are very attracted to our own image. So we will be very attracted to people that they have something from us to look inside them. Yeah, hold on. Right. I don't want to go too long on that. But what I want to show you, just bring you back to school, and with my art teacher's background, that's Eaton's color wheel. And the main colors, not the ones in the light, but the pigment colors, there are three. They are the yellow, the blue, and the red, the body, mind, and spirit. And as in many religions, is like And then you, by connecting two of them, you have the complementary. But if you see each complementary color, like the yellow and the violet are complementary, but violet contains already these two. So you always play with this triad of colors. The complementary of the blue is the orange, but it already contains yellow and red. Okay, so complementary, you think there are two colors, but there are three colors altogether. And then you have the tertiary, even more variations of the same color. So that's the other side today, that we are 9 color personalities in the world, and that comes from the Enneagram, which separates all the population in 9 categories, and that comes from old Sufi, Judeo-Christian beliefs. What Marie-Louise Lacy did earlier, last century, is to put a color on the 9 personalities. So you have the color 1 that is red, the color 2 is orange. And it makes more sense understanding the qualities of the colors to understand the personality. You can see here the different personalities. Now, people say, if I'm the same personality throughout my life, how can I get better? If I'm a blue person on my life, how can I become better? You can become lighter. All our life, we play between the dark side and the light side of our personality. So we're trying to lighten as much as possible and to be illuminated and enlightened.
Means conscious.
Yeah, in our conscious, yeah. I want to bring you some more that I'll come back to that. Okay, that's what I was saying about these are the same color, orange, with white and with black. Look how many different shades it makes, and you can make even more. And one of the lovely exercises is to try to make these scales. It's completely different than the rainbow exercise, but you concentrate and you work with color. And that gives you a lovely meditation for half an hour, a good precise thing as well that you can do. And the 9... Right, let's go to this one. I have here a portrait, an energetic portrait as I call it. We have a date of birth. As it happens, this date of birth is my grandmother's. That's why it goes so far back, previous century, 6 years after. And what inspires me about the fact that we are colors, like we are energetic beings, and we have colors inside us that define our personality, it gives a lot of way to my imagination to create art out of that. And what I do in my workshops, and I wish people get inspired to do, it's also use the color and make art with their own colors, with their husbands and wives and partners and family colors, and see how we all vibrate together. How to understand how to find your own color is to write your date of birth down and then find each individual day, month, and year in one number from 1 till 9, and then combine them all together. I will explain to you how to do it in a moment. But my grandmother was a blue personality, supported by 3 other colors, the day, the month, and the year. And this is her portrait. It's a blue portrait, but it has all this energy coming inside. Okay? So a blue person will be attracted to another blue person because they understand the same way, the same things. But they can also be attracted to a red person, which is completely the opposite. Complementary colors will attract each other more. People who have more than one common colors will attract each other as well. Have a look at this one. This portrait, again, is mine and Dimitri's. Now you know our age. Okay, this is me up there, and this is Dimitri's. And our common colors are green and gold. And I promise you can do that to yourselves in a moment, so you get into it a little bit more. So I have double green, gold, and magenta. I'm a magenta personality. Okay, my number is 8. What's above, so below. Okay, I'm working on my gold qualities, and I have a lot of green inside me to make me the person I am. Just by looking at that, just by looking at these 4 colors, you immediately get an idea of the personality that you have to deal with. You can do it with your clients, you can do it with your children, with your mothers. If you have any traumas from the past because this father was horrible to you, it's good to write his colors down and see if they connected with you, if they were very aggressive, if they were very kind, why you had problems with the father. And you will soon understand that maybe the vibrations, they were not in the same frequency. So by looking at that, and that took me a long time. I mean, I only learned on this color thing, I think 7 years ago. It was the first time that I learned how to do that. I saw that I have a lot of green, which is the balancer, the love, so I work a lot with my heart, which for me was the best thing I learned about myself, because I'm surrounded with a family that's very techy and very practical and intellectual. And I always felt, oh my God, I'm the stupid one, I don't understand computers, maths, and all that. But I can still make my decision following my heart, and I can still be a heart person, because that's the way I am. That's the way, I mean, like I have brown eyes and I'm that size, that's the way I am. And the third color, it's a very, very important color. It's the color of your year, the year you are born. And the third color is what you are learning throughout. It's the only thing that doesn't come natural to you. Your year color, it's the one that you have to learn. But you live in that color. You choose jobs that they're connected without even knowing. You choose people that they will encourage you to learn the qualities of that color. And it's very, very connected with your last one. It somehow decides how your last one will be. And the last color is the personality you are, okay? So the images here is green, gold, red, and blue. As I say, we have these two colors to invest on in our relationship, because he's my little mirror, yeah? And I look and say, I understand this chap, okay? But he's also exciting, because there are two colors that I don't understand. And one of it is completely different than mine, because I'm magenta, I'm quick, I'm a lot of red in there, and a little bit up in the air, you know, with the thinking of the violet. And he's blue. He's, what did we say of blue? It was this quiet, calm, reliable, silent, not so active. So I'm attracted to it, but I feel good because of the green and the gold. Now, it's my mirror. What happens to the mirror? First of all, we go like that. It says, oh, I look good today. That's lovely, yeah? And nice hair, nice jewelry. And then I look a little bit and I say, oh, I'm a little bit fat. And all the negatives that are coming out says, I should lose a little bit of weight. And oh, I aged. Whew. And all the bad things are coming from the common colors. This is why it's good to have relationships, because you can find yourself inside as a mirror. That's, without relationships, how can you improve yourself? How can you find this mirror that tells you you have a pimple on your nose and get rid of it? Or, you know, I can't walk because I can't, whatever, you know, all that. So the fact that you find people with common colors is to find the answers for yourself, because you cannot find your answers on other people. They only come from within you. If you don't know yourself, how can you expect people to know you? And how can you expect you to love them if you don't know yourselves? Okay, so that's the two colors. I just want to give you the opportunity. That's one of my students, actually, because I give that workshop a lot now that I found this energetic painting, and it's basically felt on canvas. We open felt and we stick it on canvas, and then we put varnish and all that, and they look really spectacular, these paintings. They're usually very big. Now, on that workshop, she wanted to put together her boyfriend and herself, and her boyfriend who wanted to marry her, but she didn't quite want to commit. And he had a lot of red. His personality was red. She was gold. And I was telling her, put red in one side, you know, because you need to put red. And in the middle, you put all the colors in between. But his color is there, saying, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I hate red. And she was the one who didn't want to commit in the marriage. And it took her a very, very long time to paint the bottom down. And she left so much white in between as well. She couldn't bear to put all the colors together. So it's a very transformational exercise to work with your colors and see which one you're going to put most. One more? No? Okay, that's where I want to come. What I want you to do, so you can experience that, is write your date of birth on a piece of paper. And here, because everybody finds that bit very difficult, to bring it down to one single number, the year, I gave you a list. And I'm sure we all in this limit from 1930 to 1989. So, unless we have younger people maybe. Do we have anybody younger than being born in 1989? No. So, and the American people, it doesn't matter which way it is, because in America you put the month first and the day. And then try to write underneath the colors you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Can you do that? So you write your date, day, month, and year. And then underneath day, month, and year, you add every number down to one single number. We can work only with single numbers. Okay? And then when you have 3 single numbers, the day, the month, and the year, you add them all together to find what personality you are. And now I need, when Wilma finishes that, she come and helps me a little bit, yeah? Okay, do you know what color you are, Wilma? Yeah. Okay.
Well, when you say like 14, you add them together and that's
5, yeah. Okay? So if you know your number, do we have any people who found the final number? What are you?
Orange.
Oh, you were orange after all. Okay, so now Wilma will come around and please pick up one of these. I wanted to make flags, but I didn't find glue last night to stick them. Just find your color, yes. This is gold, and this is magenta, and this is indigo, okay?
Just the one color.
Just one color, yeah.
This is the color of your year.
No, not the color of your year, the addition of the 3 colors. The day, the month, and the year. I want to see then yellow.
I don't know if I did it right. Mine is.
You check me?
14 would be 5.
Yeah.
April is 4.
Yeah.
And the year is
4. 13, you're 4. You're green. You did it fine. Yeah. Now, while I'll come. Yeah. Where are you?
1954 is
1.
red. 26 is 8. Magenta, and
Yeah.
3 is yellow.
So that's 9, 13. You're yellow.
Okay.
That's why you're so clever. Yeah. So while the papers are going around, just work you and your partner, you and your mom maybe, do another person. Are we nearly done? Okay, because we only have 15 more minutes.
We can go into our lunch.
Please, take
That's okay.
We started so late.
Yeah. So I want to see how many, okay, let's think a little bit. We are a group of color therapists, light therapists, okay? So what color you think should be in common with all of us?
White.
White, okay, I don't have white. We are aspiring to that.
Green.
Excellent, green. I think green should be a color because we are therapists and we're doing things with our hands, yeah? Because green is not the all balancer, it goes there, and everything you do with your hands brings loving energy and giving and caring. So when you love and you caress, you know all the baddies in this film, James Bond film. That was always my question. They caress cats, yeah? The baddies in the bad films, in James Bond, the baddies, they're always having a pet and they caress it. And the old people as well, they say give them a pet to caress because that will give them comfort and love, this nurturing. It's because caressing, massaging, doing anything with your hands creates green energy, and green energy is love. Everything you do with your hands, lovingly, is love. Everything you do your hands in a horrible way, it gives you hate, anger, which is also everything that has to do with the heart. So remember what you do with your hands. If you wash the dishes and you go fast, and you chuck them out of the window, that's not going to bring you anything good to your household. You're going to do things with a lot of anger and impatience. So remember that your hands are your extension of your heart chakra, and they are green. That's why Colorface, he has green hands. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we give our love with a touch, and our skin is our biggest instrument in our body. So there is a lot of, we can self-love as well by massaging ourselves and holding and touching ourselves. Green is good. And Steiner, of course, with including nature and giving so much importance to nature, nature also is green and rejuvenating. Great. You all find that. So let's see how many red people we have. Can we put the flags up? No, you have to put your flag. Red people, and keep your flag up. So you have to bear a little bit with this flag.
Maybe they could stand up so we could see them.
Yeah, you have to hold your flag up. Okay, only one red person? Wow. The last one, the fourth color. Okay, keep your red flags up. Do we have?
I know, but I took the wrong color.
Do we have orange people here? Okay, keep it up. Keep it up. Wow, more orange. Fantastic. The color of, yeah, creativity and flexibility and all that. Keep it up. Okay. Do we have yellow?
Yes.
Yeah? A lot of intelligence here as well. Yeah, okay, he needs a yellow, Wilma. Do we have any green?
Jennifer.
Green, okay. That's the last color, okay? You might have green inside you still. Keep it up, keep it up. If you can, keep your hands up. Do we have blue, light blue?
Everyone keep their hands up?
Yeah, keep all your hands up because we want to see a room that didn't have any color specifically being colorful, like a party with all these flags. And we have indigo. And do we have violet? And we have magenta, which is this pink color. Wow, lovely. Wow. Look at the room, it's getting to be festive because we are this energy. And do we have gold, which is this kind of orangey color? Picture. Fantastic. Just look at the room before and after.
Good.
You put that color thing back up, you know, with all the numbers.
One more.
There we go.
Yeah, keep your...
So
That's,
you stand in front of the camera.
okay.
Get the whole class with your number.
I'm magenta. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. That projector stand. What a gorgeous class. Colorful people.
So colorful.
Batteries are tired.
Yeah. So thank you for holding your hands up. Is that transformational? I always have this vision of getting a grant, because I will need a grant, and be able to close the main road in Brighton, that's where I live, then buy these costumes that they're, one piece with the hood and the hands, like baby grows for adults, and have the whole road be dressed with a color. So everybody has 9 colors only. And take pictures and make human statues with these pictures. Won't that be lovely? It is like that here. I painted this picture. That's the audience.
Go visit the European Union.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Luke. You can put it down now. Let's go back to that. Here you can get a quick characteristic of the different colors and what they mean, but in a nutshell, really in a nutshell. And from an audience like you, I expect to be able to understand what each color means because you're working so much with each color. I mean, you know what red represents, the quality of the red, and green, what it represents. Okay? But that's, again, here, it's only the final color. Only the final color. Okay? So, do you remember what's the color of your year? I have a book, and that's in the book, and you can photocopy it and just give it to your students. So it's there. Okay. What is your second color, more or less? Oh, do we have all green? Do we all have green?
No.
In one of the numbers, you have no green.
No green.
You have some green, yeah? In day, month, and year, do you have any green? You have some. Not as many as you have some. What about light blue? Light blue. Yeah.
Do you have blue and light blue?
Well, there's blue and indigo.
Doesn't matter. That's confusing. Forget it. That's too much. Let's go back again. Okay. Beauty and harmony. Okay? That's what we are trying to do with the rainbow, to make it harmonious. Because if we can balance, we have a sun in the cosmos, and we have a sun in the microcosmos, which is us. And if we can balance the higher forces and the lower forces around our sun, supported by the green, then our rainbow will be balanced, because it is balanced in a natural way. And as far as our higher and lower forces are breathing into each other in a healthy way, then we are healthy, okay? And remember, we need our solar plexus to be alive, and this is our ego, okay? We have a funny relationship with the ego because we think it makes us big-headed, which it does, unfortunately. But we need it to be the people we are. We've been made with the freedom of choice, the freedom of choice and the thinking ability, which makes us different, okay? So people who are depressed or lose the sense of living, their ego is very depleted. And with these exercises, I forgot to tell you that before, just with this beauty and harmony, with weaving the rainbow and with painting the rainbow, you give them the ability to make choices. But the choices, they don't have exterior consequences. They're choices to make something balanced and beautiful. So the ego, little by little, is getting nurtured again to have the will to live. Okay, so it's good to do art in order to nourish our ego, because you take decisions all the time, you concentrate all the time to create something beautiful. And beautiful is what brings balance in life and hope. And it's again this kind of green energy, beauty. And here I'm giving you some quotes from different big and wise men throughout life. And beautiful can be very subjective as well, but most of the time we all are in awe of something beautiful in nature. So beautiful in painting, but beautiful also in harmonious relationships between us. We want our relationships to be beautiful, and we have to work on them to balance our colors. Now let me explain to you about the other three colors. Yeah, just a moment. I'm all yours. Here.
What is the origin of the name, the colors with our birthday?
Well, as I said, Marie-Louise Lacy. Do you know Marie-Louise Lacy? You heard of her name. Marie-Louise Lacy, L-A-C-E-Y. And she's British, and she's still alive. She wrote a book, what was the name of that book?
She sent me the book, I don't remember.
Yeah. She's very, very lovely, and she used to lecture. Now she's a little bit older. But she's the first person that she put on the Enneagram. I don't even know if she considered it like the Enneagram, which is the circle with the 9, it's this one here, that, okay? That without the color, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's called Enneagram, from Ennea, which is 9 in Greek, and gram, which is something written, okay? Like a gram. And the Enneagram has a very, very old origin. Actually, Jennifer can talk to you better about that, because your daughter is studying it.
We're studying both.
Yeah, and you're studying it. And the Enneagram, you find the personalities and you can categorize them in 9 different types, okay? But she put the color on each of these numbers, and then she combined it with the date of birth, and somehow it works very accurately. If you look at yourselves and you analyze another person, knowing their color, you will find that you're very, very much your colors. You're these 4 colors vibrating all the time around you. Isn't that exciting? I find that very exciting, that our energy have 4 different colors or 3 different colors. It depends how many colors you have. That's why you attract other people, and that's why you don't like other people. And sometimes people who don't have any common colors and they're together in marriages or partnerships, they find the partnership very, very difficult, because they see the world from completely different views. Okay? Give me any questions if you want, because I want to go to the next step to tell you something more about that. Yeah?
Would you say in this system, even though we have a type, our soul's path is to open our experience to each of these, to be a full spectrum being?
Absolutely. That's why you need, your colors will connect from one to the other,
Sure.
you know, and you make a graph here.
Yeah.
So if you put your whole family, you know, the different lines, it's nice if you touch every single number and every single color, then you have the unison, okay? And usually we attract the colors we don't have by meeting other people and bring them to our lives, our friends. Then they complete our experience and we can have the beauty and the harmony of the rainbow. Yes, Denise?
What does the day and month represent again? The day and
Yeah, I'll tell you in a moment. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Right. Oh, yeah, by the way, another energetic portrait is here. That's my mom and dad.
Wow.
Okay? So these are two people who have no common colors. They're both wonderful, and they've been married for 65 years. Okay? They beat all of us together, I think. But a funny kind of relationship because they are so completely different. Yeah, that's the quiet blue, the loving, caring, very sensitive as well. Yeah, blue is caring, but it's also, they say something and your heart shrinks, okay? And that's the flamboyant orange and gold and magenta all over the place, you know. So difficult and no common colors, a difficult relationship, but somehow love made it up and they've been together. But you can see how inspirational it is to create art with color, with your own color. It's very healing in a way. And here you can see the 4 different squares with the 4 different colors. In this case, they're double greens, indigo and blue. Okay? Now, the 2 first colors, which are reversible, they show you the tools and your abilities, your natural gifts, which sometimes they can be very, very hidden. Okay? That's the day. The color of the day is the natural gifts. You are born, give me a date. Let's say you are born the 10th of January. So your natural gift is red. It's 1. So you're passionate, you're active, entrepreneurial, but that's really deep, deep inside you. And many children, if they're suppressed and very much guided with the family's rules and regulations, they don't recognize these natural gifts. You will find them more in children who didn't develop yet the whole personality. The second number, which is the month, and I say month for the American people because it's reversed, the number and the color of the month shows you the tools you need to use to make your life path easier, okay? So if your tools are red, yeah, you need to be entrepreneurial, you need to be courageous and passionate, etc., and rooted. If your tools are green, you need to use your heart to make your decisions, you need to be loving, caring, balanced, okay? If your tools are yellow, you need to use your intellect and your freedom, okay? You are familiar with the colors. We're talking in an audience that is familiar with the colors, yeah? Okay, so we have the gifts, the tools, and the lessons, which is the 3rd color.
And that's the year?
That's the year. The year, it's the lessons, what we are learning. I'm learning my gold. Okay, let me go back to me. Okay. There you go. I'm learning my gold. I'm not born under gold. Okay? I'm learning to be optimistic. Okay? We'll say, I am optimistic somehow. But anyway, optimistic, that's the gold. To have total faith that the universe is supporting me and it's behind me. And I'm not born under that color. So I have to learn that. I have to let go and receive without judging too much, okay? I'm a magenta, which means I connect what's above, so below. It's still kind of highly spiritual color, but I'm not the perfect gold yet, so I'm learning it all the time. I find people who are gold in my life to learn from them, and I surround myself with qualities of gold. Do you understand how it works? Yeah? Okay. And that's when we're learning red, which is actually complementary of blue. And that's sometimes, because blue tends to be quiet, like the quiet water. And in this case, they need to learn entrepreneurial, courageous, break the rules, break the ground, be grounded. Okay? So then you get to see what's your lesson. And if, yeah, Rainer.
Would it be recommended to, if you are looking for a partner, to look for the best other color, which is going with yours?
Yeah, a lot of people say, yeah. A lot of people ask, shall we go for the complementary color? Yeah, so you have all the colors together. It's not necessary, but it's nice. When I teach teenagers, I say, well, when you get a girlfriend or boyfriend, just ask them discreetly the date of birth, and if you don't have any common colors, just enjoy the experience, but don't invest for the future, because that's a difficult relationship. It's nice to understand each other. And it's nice to have a couple of common colors, definitely, yeah, from experience, from all the people I see. And knowing your colors, you understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, accidents don't happen. You are more able to take decisions on how you want your life to evolve, okay? Okay, nearly one more thing. And you saw that, and you remember that goes with lines for each individual. That's the audience. And that again, you can do the rainbow in everything you do. You can just think life through the rainbow. Like in the morning, you wake up, the first thing you do is step off the bed, you ground yourself. Then you go in the bus or in your car, you already interact with people. Then you go to work, intellect wakes up, okay? Lunchtime, balance, and then you expand in the afternoon. Communications, meeting thoughts, and then you're going back home, you have a look at the day, and the violet allows you to relax and dream. And then a little living through the rainbow, you can check if you are living through the rainbow, okay? How many activities of this did you do yesterday, let's say? One way of, I will tell you an example for the green, to create green energy. When was the last time you mended something? A hole on a sock, or what else breaks, like a sleeve, and you didn't throw it away? Because in our society, we don't mend things anymore. Mending is such a healing thing. It's such a loving thing, because you're bringing something broken back to life. Okay? So that's only a few ideas. Did I do all that today? Tick, tick, tick. One of them every day. Did I bring the rainbow inside me? Okay? Collecting treasures. That's a good one for Violet. You don't have to be dreaming or inventing. Praying, celebrating.
What's magenta?
Oh, I don't have magenta here. It's letting go and bring what's above so below. Sorry, I forgot magenta. Good. And one last one before. That's me and Colorface. I just leave color a lot, so I do performances with Colorface. And I give people different pieces of paper with what to do. And that was from a performance in the Shunt under London Bridge in London. That's one of my students doing her portrait with a different color. She's an indigo lady. That's I go to schools for the weaving and painting. Boys are fantastic in weaving, you wouldn't think so, but they get straight on it and they know exactly which colors and they make fantastic things. Wow. But straight on, there's something very connected with boys and weaving. That's another of my students' portraits of herself and her husband. You see how lovely they come out, really lovely. And that's a bit of the mural. Conclusion, I don't need to tell you the conclusion. We're living in an accelerated time, we're expanding our consciousness. In any way, if we can share color in a practical way, because not many people understand light and color therapy. Actually, I stopped saying that I'm a color therapist, I say I'm a light therapist. Because they say, color, what's that? It's difficult, it's a difficult thing to explain. But they do understand my workshops when you bring color inside. They love it, they love the rainbow, they love breaking the rainbow, which is literally a manifestation of your will to go vertical on the diagonal and create a whole picture out of it. They love the weaving and the felting pictures and the dance, everything. And this is a picture, yeah, I know, I'm sorry about that. That's my busy Lizzie's, and I made a picture with 2 complementary colors and white. This is all. And look what a variety of colors it comes. It's blue, orange, and white. There's no black, there is no other color. And that's the variety inside us through darkness and light that we go throughout our lives. You can create beautiful compositions with yourself. Any questions?
It was fascinating.
Thank you.